What is happening, everybody? Welcome back to Only Leeds Bros. Hope everybody is keeping and doing well, and you're very welcome along to this video where we take a deep look into Leeds United's squad depth so far, what Leeds United need to do with a little less than 5 weeks to go in the transfer window. Still a bit of work for Leeds United to do if we're going to get Premier League ready, and of course possibly a couple of outgoings as well. So we're going to take a look at all that, guys. As always, please make sure you're getting your thoughts in the comment box below. If you do enjoy the video, please make sure you're slapping a like on it. Helps push it out there to other people. And of course, if you're new here, make sure you're hitting that subscribe button as well, guys. It would be greatly appreciated. Before we do get into the video though, guys, we are doing a bit of a giveaway here on Only Leeds Bros. We turn one next month and we're celebrating by giving one of you guys a brand new Leeds United jersey of your choice, home and away. And if the third kit is out by the end of August, that will be thrown in there as well. So all you have to do to get involved is scan the QR code there on your screen, head across to our X account, make sure you're subscribed to our Only Leeds Bros YouTube channel, retweet the post, and of course tag a mate so he can enter the competition as well. The winner will be announced live on the 21st of August. That's when Only Leeds Bros turns 1, and we'll announce the winner live. We'll get your details and we'll post it directly to your door. So just a way of saying thank you to the guys for the support that we've received over the last year. But let's dive straight into it. Let's not hang about because we don't have any time to waste. This is Leeds United's squad depth. So put this together today. Some of you might know there's a couple of fringe players that aren't in there, the likes of your Chambers, Chadwick, Rory Mahady, the under-21s goalkeeper isn't there as well. But I thought people who probably at the moment have a genuine chance of getting into this Leeds United team. Of course, we want to see the youngsters break through. Will they in the Premier League season? I'm not too sure. But just put this little graph together. We're going to go through it together and where we think Leeds United need to improve, where we'll probably lose a couple of players coming towards the end of the window. So we'll dive straight into it. First, we have a look there at the goalkeeper position, guys. For the first time, I think in a long time, being a Leeds United fan, I'm very, very happy with the goalkeeper positions at Leeds United. We obviously know we're after getting a very good goalkeeper in Lucas Perry. You're probably going to see Illan Meslier moved on. There was a couple of murmurs there that he might stay on and hang around being number 2. I can't see it, guys. I can't see Meslier after playing a lot of football at a young age now. He's still going to want to continue playing football. He's not going to want to sit on the bench. So I do think Illan Meslier will be moved on probably towards the end of the window. That will leave Karl Darlow and Alex Cairns, and I'm happy enough with that. I think Karl Darlow is a very, very good backup option. He has Premier League experience, of course, at Newcastle United. He's played at, a high-pressure club in front of 50,000 at St James's Park. He's well laid for it. And we've seen towards the tail end of the last season in the Championship what he could do. He came in, he was commanding, he can catch the ball, and just as simple things as a goalkeeper. That's what Karl Darlow gives you, so I'm fine with him being a number 2. Let's move on then. We move on to the back line, and we know this is where Leeds United have strengthened the most over the course of this window. We've really, really zoned in on this back line here. As you can see, Isaac Smith isn't in it because by all means it looks like it's all wrapped up and ready to go for him on his loan going to Werder Bremen. So it leaves Leeds United a little bit light in the full back positions for me. You've got Jayden Bogle obviously on the right hand side, who's going to be our starter. Gabby Goodmunson, who's brought in on that left hand side to cover the departing Junior Firpo. So it only really leaves Sam Byram on both sides to cover both full back positions. And I think we'd all agree that it's just not enough. We've heard about Bornell coming in, that he can cover the right-hand side as well, but it's not natural. We've seen Ethan Ampadu do that when he was coming back from injury towards the tail end of last season. He covered that right-back position. We've seen Pascal Struijk before under Jesse March playing the left-back position again. I think that was when Struijk probably played his worst football for Leeds United. He's just not comfortable out in that left-back position. So we put about a bit of a poll on our Twitter earlier on. Over 300 you guys voted on it. We asked the question is, what is Leeds United's priority left in this window? Is it a winger? Is it a striker? Or is it other? And a resounding 95% said it was a striker. For me, I'm going to go a little bit against the grain here, and don't shoot me, I disagree with that completely. I look at that full back line or that full back position and it just gives me the chills at the minute. I think that's where the priority needs now with the departing Isaac Smith. Would he have been in Daniel Farke's plans? I'm not too sure. He doesn't really seem to like him towards the tail end of last season. He got a bit of minutes, but we know he's heading off now to Werder Bremen to get more match fitness ahead of the World Cup for Switzerland next year. So this is where I look at, and I think the fullback position for me now, it's turned into a priority. When you put it down on paper and you can really have a look at it there, that's where I think Leeds United need to go next. And of course, everyone's going to turn around and go, yeah, well, we need a striker and we need a winger. And we're always going to want that. We're always going to want the flashy player. But I just think at the minute, them full-back positions, it really, really scares me at the minute. So, look, there is options obviously out there. We covered a video right at the very start of this window about free agents. I talked about Koufal. He still hasn't got a club yet. It broke down with Fulham. I think if you're bringing in a Vladimir Koufal, who's played at West Ham, has European experience as well, 32. If you're bringing him as a backup option to Jayden Bogle, he'd be one I'd be looking at. James Justin's name is out there as well from Leicester. I'd be all over him as well. So there definitely is options for Leeds United to go after if they want to. It was obviously said that Daniel Farke will not sanction Isaac Smith to leave unless a covering fullback does come in, and I think he's absolutely right, because you can see it there by the graph. That's where we're most likely. Of course, we need to sprinkle of Stardust in them wide positions, and of course up front as well. We will get onto that, but just at the minute, personally, just my opinion, the fullback position at the minute for Leeds is really working me up at the minute. So let's hope we get it sorted. The centre-back positions, I think we're absolutely fine there. You've got Joe Rodon, Borneo, who's came in. We know he's after getting a bit of a knock. Hopefully he's okay for the start of the season. Not really great news, a new player coming in and picking up a knock, but let's hope it's not too bad and it's not going to be a recurring theme with Borneo. Let's hope he can get himself back fit and be available and be an option if anything does happen to Joe Rodon. You've got that left centre-half position in Bial, who I've actually been very impressed with. He looked good against Manchester United. The small highlights that we've seen from the 2 pre-season games out in Germany, he's looked good as well. We know what Pascal Struijk can offer as well. He's still obviously learning his trade in the centre-half position. Thought he was brilliant at the start of last season. Scored some very, very important goals. Who can forget the 2 against Sunderland at Ellen Road. You've got Ethan Ampadu as well, who can cover that left back or the left centre half position. Can also cover right centre half as well, because he is predominantly right footed as well. So the centre half positions for me, I'm fairly happy with. Can you keep all 4 of them happy? Will that towards the tail end of the window, will Pascal Struijk look to be moved on? There has been, not murmurs, but there has been people saying if you do see one goal, it could be Pascal Struijk. I hope not, but I do like the look of that back four with Rodon, Borneo, Bial and Pascal Struijk, and then you've Ethan Ampadu there if we do need it. So very happy with the centre-half positions. It's just them full-back positions in the back line that I think we need to look at ASAP. Put this as a 4-2-3-1 formation. We know in pre-season Daniel Farke has played the 4-3-3, so you can more or less it's more or less the same depending on what way you look at it. But this is basically what way we line out. So obviously we know we've brought Stack in. He's come with a very good reputation. That centre defensive midfield position, one of the top 5 across Europe. I'm really looking forward to seeing how Pascal Struijk gets on at Leeds United. So we have him in there. We've got Ethan Ampadu, we know, who's played it. Ilya Gruev. We've got Tanaka. Then a little bit further forward, then you've got Sean Longstaff. Tanaka can play that advanced role. We've seen him do that at times. Stack can play it as well, not out and out. We've seen Ilya Gruev doing it part last season as well. Again, I don't think it's going to be fully his position as well. He's more of defensive role. We know that as well. So overall in that centre role, I'm really, really happy with that. Whether we're going to go with a 4-2-3-1, whether we're going to go 4-3-3. I think no matter who you put in there, if you're going to go, your Stack, Tanaka, Longstaff, that's a really, really good centre midfield. If you're going to go Stack, Ampadu, Longstaff, Tanaka, Ampadu, Stack, whatever way you want to pick it, Gruev as well. I've got he's a decent player as well, Ilya Gruev. So I'm really, really happy with the midfield. That was one when we got promoted from the Championship. We spoke about it on the final day with Dylan, and I said we really need to shore up that midfield. That's the position where I think, and we see it in the Premier League, a lot of the footballers play through the middle of the park. That's where games are won and lost, and I think Leeds United have done really well, especially the sign on Anton Stack. I didn't think we'd get him, and it's just fantastic sign. I'm really, really looking forward to seeing him in a Leeds shirt this season. Move a little bit further on then to that number 10 position-ish, or maybe the possible 3 position. You've got Brendan Aronson in there. Willie Nonto, we know, can play it. Tanaka, I'll put Tanaka in there because I think Tanaka has got the ability to play that more advanced role, that attacking role. He can pick a pass, he can create, so he can play there as well. And of course, Harry Gray, we've seen him coming on towards the tail end of last season in his debut season. That's done decent in there. And the assists as well that he's got in pre-season as well, lovely assist as well. So he's working his way into the team. So look, will Daniel Farke play with an out-and-out 10 in the Premier League next season? I'm not too sure. We seen him last pre-season when he went 5 at the back. Everyone was thinking, right, we're going to go 5 at the back for the season gone. We did, and then in that first game against Portsmouth at home, the 3-3 game, he went back to the 4-2-3-1. Is he just playing the 4-3-3 at the minute to get as much minutes in the legs as he possibly can, because we know that midfield is stacked? or is it something that he's looking at? I personally wouldn't mind it, because I thought against Man United the 4-3-3 actually looked really well. I thought it really suited us. So look, it's one to keep a keen eye on. We'll know straight away at that Everton game at Ellen Road, the first 10 minutes, how we're lining up. So really interesting to see. I would prefer us to go to a 4-3-3 in the Premier League, because it seems to be them days of an out-and-out 10 in the Premier League seem to have gone. It's very much a box-to-box 8, and we have that in Sean Longstaff. We've heard Brendan Aronson doing a couple of interviews that he more sees himself as a box-to-box 8. Whether the physicality is there to do that in the Premier League, I'm not too sure. But look, all we have to do is see what happens there. So, again, in that position, I wouldn't mind towards the tail end of the window. We know we have 3 positions for a loan. Whether we go for someone like a Buendia to come in, just a name spitball in there, but whether we go for a number 10 towards the end of the window, look, it remains to be seen. Just been very little on number 10s at the minute. There's loads of Leeds fans saying at the minute, go and get James McAtee, who his natural position is a number 10. If we're not going to play the 4-2-3-1 formation with that number 10, will James McAtee fit that system? And then also the money that's said as well, 25 million was turned down from Man City, from Nottingham Forest. They're looking upwards of 40 million for James McAtee, and I just don't think Leeds United are going to pay that. We'll move on then. Let's move on then to the wings position. Look, we know the situation with Jack Harrison. We have him on both sides. He's played on that right hand side for Leeds before. He's played on that right hand side predominantly for Everton. You've got Largy Ramazani, Willie Gnonto, who operated out there. Dan James, for me, has to start out there. I think he's going to be a real weapon in the Premier League. He's much improved over the last 18 months under Daniel Farke with his final ball, his finishing. So really looking forward to seeing how Dan James gets on in the Premier League and having a proper crack at it this time. We know under Marcelo Bielsa that he was played out of position. He played that 10 role, he played that striker role. At times it did work. I remember Spurs away, it did work, but it's just not natural to him. And then again on that left hand side, then it's all them same wingers as well that can operate on that left hand side as well. So you can certainly see for the right hand side for me, I think you're talking James Gnonto. The left hand side, Ramazani, would have been Pajero, but unfortunately that was after falling through. So I definitely do think we need another winger in there. This is even if Jack Harrison does stay. His future is very much up in the air. It seems the more and more that's rumbling on, the later it gets in the window. I think he's going to be a Leeds United player. We haven't heard much about Jack Harrison's future. We have heard last week that Everton do still hold interest in him, but want to get him on a free and then pay his wages. But for me, Leeds United hold the cards with this one. He obviously has a very high contract. We know he's one of the highest earners at the football club. I wouldn't be letting Jack Harrison go for nothing. Minimum, I would say 6 to 7 million for Jack Harrison. There's no way I'll be letting him go for nothing. So it'd be interesting to see what way Leeds go with the winger position. I think obviously after losing out on Pajero, we're going to be linked to every winger now. Any winger that's available, we've already seen it. Within I think 2 hours of Pajero not coming, we were linked to Johnny Rowe and every winger that's available out there. So I would take it with a pinch of salt for the next couple of days with the winger position, unless something concrete comes up, either from the reliable journalist, the local journalist, or Sky or Romano. But for me, I would keep a close eye on how the winger position is going to go. So that's it. So the fullback position for me, priority. Then I'd move on to the winger, and then the striker position. Obviously, you guys were overwhelming, saying an 89%. He has said that was the priority position for you. For me, I'm actually not too bad. Again, don't shoot me on this one with the striker position. I think Joel Pirro will do bits in the Premier League. Just some people saying that he'll get double figures. I don't think he'll get that much, but I'm quietly intrigued to see what Joel Pirro can do in the Premier League. We know he has the technical ability. The Premier League is going to be more fast-paced, more quality, and I think Joel Pirro, under pressure and when he doesn't have time to think, I think that's when, he really comes to fruition. We've seen him last season, when he hasn't got time to think about it, his finishing has been absolutely quality. I think when he has that little half second to think about the next pass or the next shot, I think that's when we kind of see his game falling back a little bit. And in the Premier League, he's not going to get that time. We know he's going to be closed down. We know it's going to be fast paced. So I'm looking forward to seeing him in the Premier League. We've seen some of his finishing as well. He's a real fox in the box. Get him in anywhere around that 18-yard box, he's going to score goals. It's obviously just making sure we get to supply to him to give him the opportunity to score goals. I'm not saying he should be our out-and-out striker for the Premier League, but I wouldn't be completely writing him off. I'm looking forward to seeing seeing how he gets on. Nemecha as well, I'm actually being quietly surprised with him as well. Brought him in on a free, has an injury record behind him that I wasn't too sure about when we brought him in, but I was saying, look, it's for a free. We've seen Daniel Farke's previous work with injury-prone players, Sam Boyram, Manor Solomon. He's well able to get them back onto the field and playing football. And Nemecha, for me, looked very good against Man United. You could see a little bit of rust in him. That's, of course, that's going to be the first game of pre-season. But he's looked decent. Looks like one of them strikers that's well able to put himself about, works the back line, hassles and harries defenders. And it's something different at Leeds United that we haven't had in the last while, because Joe Pirro doesn't exactly do that. We know Sam Boy and Patrick Bamford, we know that we can't rely on him to do that either. So I'd like to look at Nemecha. I hope he gets fit. I hope he gets a bit of game time. I'd like to see a little bit more of him again. Am I going to fully rely on him to be our out-and-out striker in the Premier League? I'm not too sure. There's been very little in the striker position. We know Muniz has been constantly linked. Every couple of days it goes away that Leeds are going to wait towards the tail end of the window to see if they can swipe in for him. Reported fee that Fulham are looking for Muniz is 40 million. Will Leeds United pay that? I'm not too sure. You also have Gassand out there. You've got Beto that we're linked with from the start. So not much by way of strikers out there. Of course, we know with the club, we know with the 49ers and Adam Underwood, they're going to have a short list of players that they're looking at that they think can do a job on this Leeds United side. So I don't think it's shaping up too badly. It's obviously been a very, very good window. The cherry on the cake, of course, would have been getting Peugeot in. We didn't, we know that. But look, at one player isn't going to make or break our window. We've said it plenty of times now as Leeds fans that it's not to make or break. So I'm looking forward to seeing how the next 4 weeks go with Leeds, what way we go next, especially in that winger position. It feels like with Leeds fans at the minute, no matter who we're going to be linked with or no matter who we get in, it's going to be a bit of a downgrade to Peugeot, because look at, there's no denying his numbers, and he was a quality player. So it's going to be interesting to see what Leeds United do in that winger position. As I said, for me personally, just my opinion, it's the full back position I'm looking at the minute. I'm looking at quantity over quality back there. If Goodmunson or Bogle gets injured, then you're talking about Sam Boyram filling in them full back positions. It's nothing against Sam Boyram, but do you really want him to play an extended period of time in the Premier League against Premier League wingers? You see coming up against Mo Salah, Gerard Bowen with a bit of pace. It's just going to be, for me, it gives me the chills a little bit. So that's where I'm at the minute. I hope the fullback position gets sorted soon as possible. As always, guys, let us know your thoughts in the comment below. A little bit of a different video, tried to pull away from the transfer rumours and all that sort of stuff in this video. So we'll take a look at the squad depth. Going to reevaluate this towards the end of the window, see where we're at and what bits Leeds United do. If you have enjoyed the video, guys, please make sure you're slapping a like on it, and of course hitting subscribe to the channel. Myself and Dylan will be back live again on Friday night at 8:30. Hopefully there's a bit of news and a bit of meat on the bones, and we'll get your thoughts on it as always, guys. So that's it from Only Leeds Bros. Mind yourselves, mind each other, and we chat to you all again very soon.